Yo, guys, and we're back with another one. So this is our weekly roundup. We still haven't thought of a proper name for it.
But for now, we're just calling it
Weekly roundup. So without further ado, let's just get straight into it. The first topic we're going to talk about this week is Bashi's album. It came out a few weeks ago. I think it came out just before Carnival.
Yeah, I think like July, something like that. Yeah.
You know, it was after. I think it was August, start of August, July, maybe end of July. Yeah, but yeah, this album for me personally is the best album I've heard in 2024. This album, this is what I was talking about. If you watched the last video, which maybe you didn't, the main point I was talking about is having substance in your music. A lot of the music nowadays, it doesn't have talent or it doesn't have substance. This album brought you that. It's like I said this to you before. It sounds like in music nowadays, everyone's just trying to sound the same. They're still talking about the same stuff. If it's not drugs, money, cars, girls, shooting each other, that's all it was, stabbing each other, that's it.
Jewelry,
Do you know what I mean?
etc.
Man's talking about real issues, real topics, do you know what I mean? And he's talking about it from his point of view. That's what you have to have individuality.
Yeah.
Most of these rappers don't have that. So that's what this album brought.
I really like this album because I like how in depth he was going, talking about how his grandma came through to the country through Windrush. Then obviously he was born in the 80s, and how he built himself up as an MC. He's gone into acting as well in Hollywood.
Yeah, because most people, some people don't even know him as Bashi. They know him as the guy who's in Top Boy. But if you know Bashi, you know what I mean? And even he was in Carnival, he's performing Black Boys, that tune. That tune is too inspirational. It shows like he's been making tunes like this for years. It's not just now. He's been doing in depth, and I think he made that tune when he was 21. He said that he was on Chucky Online's podcast. He was talking about how he made that tune. Bruv, this guy, he talks in detail with stuff. Like, he talks properly, especially this album. He was talking about how he grew up. He was talking about the areas from Northwest 10, Housden, like Stonebridge, Willesden, Wembley, Kensal Rise. He was talking about what happens in these areas, the stuff he's gone through, like the stuff when he was younger, the people that were influencing him in a bad way, making him act a certain way, the way he got older and learnt from it. Yeah, I can't describe it enough. If you listen to it, you'll hear exactly what I mean.
It's one of these albums where you just really have to listen to it.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's got one or two tunes on there, like the one with Hailey and Scraps, where it's more of a vibey one. That's my personal favourite track on the album as a song. But yeah, with these albums, as I was saying, you just listen to what he's saying. And it's the storytelling as well.
Yeah. The ability
amazing,
is top tier. You remind me of a little bit of when you listen to, you have to listen to the album through the whole thing. It's literally like a story.
Yeah.
If you miss one song, it's like missing a chapter in a story.
Basically.
You know what it reminds me of? A bit like Nas. If you listen to a Nas album.
To be fair, he's on the Chucky podcast. He said that if you notice the artwork as well.
Yeah.
You remember we were watching?
Oh, you just said
we were watching it the other day.
I just clocked
and how he was walking through Kensal Rise.
Yeah.
He said he wanted to do something like that because when you listen to Nas's album called Illmatic, when he's listening to that, he feels as if he's in Queens. So he wanted to do that with this.
It wasn't just the album cover. He wanted to make the sound like you're in Northwest 10. That's why if you listen to the album, you can hear him on the tube. You can hear him on the bus. He was talking about how he used to drive the bus. I think he used to drive the 114.
Yeah.
And like, do you know what I mean? He's trying to make it like when you're listening to the song, you don't even feel like where you are. You feel like you're in the place he's talking about. Like how the way you would listen to Nas, you feel like you're in New York.
So it was inspired by that, basically.
Yeah, so that's the type of vibe I get from him, a Nas type of vibe. But yeah, go and check that album out. It's one of the best this year.
For me, top three. Top three.
I think
for me, I'd say Gets. That's my.
I think this is better than Gets. I'll be real. I've heard the Gets one. Man. Gets' album was good, but I think this is better. My personal opinion, I think this is the best album of the year. Please go and check it out. I don't think it's getting enough recognition as it deserves. Another person in music I want to talk about is Nines.
Yeah.
He's dropping an album at the end of the month, end of September. Yeah, I think he said it's his last album ever.
I mean, to be fair, I saw a snippet today which he dropped a couple hours ago. he's dropping Tony Soprano 3, the video tomorrow. And in it is him walking outside a corner shop. And the person says, "Oh, this is your last album, Nines. People want to hear from you." And
yeah, but you know what it is. You know, some of these rappers say it's their last album. It's not really their last album. Let's be real. You never know with Nines. He might just come back. And I think he's filming a movie, a side of it, Crop Circle 3. It's not Crop Circle 3. What's it? What's it? I don't know what the album's called, but he's gonna have a movie.
Oh, that's what the album's called.
Yeah.
Quit While You're Ahead.
Yeah, Quit While You're Ahead. So that even that title sounds like it's his last album. But I think he's got a movie aside of it, like his other albums before.
You remember he was filming and he had the brides.
Yeah, all the brides are running like.
Part of it.
Yeah, that's definitely part of the movie. That was funny. If you've seen that,
greedy.
Yeah, how greedy.
200.
Yeah.
Taking it there. They're taking it there. Yeah. How greedy. 200. 200. That's a lot of brides.
You know what I mean?
It's good.
Yeah, like 200 gal running down Church Road after him, and he's wearing a suit like he's getting married.
Yeah.
They're all wearing the marriage gown. I'll show you on the screen. Another thing I saw was, you know that cat he has, that crop circle cat that he uses like with all his things. It looks like a weed. It's like he's all green and stuff. He was in, you know, the skydiving stuff they have, not actual skydiving place. You know them places where you can go and you're in. It feels like
yeah, I did see that. Yeah,
and there was weed all jumping. My man's floating and there's weed all hitting his face and that killed me. This guy is addicted to bud. Yeah, and talking about bud, we're gonna move on to the next topic. It's about Rich Homie Quan. He passed away last week. I think it was from a drug overdose.
Oh, is he 34 as well?
I think something young like that. Yeah, like talking about weed, even though people can debate on weed if it's a drug or not. Yeah, I was talking like it's sad to see, man. He made legendary tunes. I didn't listen to him religiously, but he made legendary tunes. Lifestyle. That tune, My N. What else?
I'll be honest, those are the only tunes I know.
I've heard other tunes.
I didn't listen to him like that.
I listened to other tunes like that, but he's made legendary tunes, especially the hooks. And it's just sad to see like these rappers are dying. It's similar to who was it a couple of years ago? Juice WRLD, yeah.
Who else? Little Peep as well.
Yeah. These rappers are just dying from. It's silly, man. Overdoses, like it's because it's partly true to. Obviously, they grow up in tough situations, but also it's what you're promoting. You are promoting that. You're rapping about this, and it's not only the rappers that are dying. There's people that you like are listening to it that you don't hear about in the news when they pass away.
They get influenced by it,
and they're taking drugs. Don't be taking that lean and that Percocet and all that bullshit. It's not good for your body. Look after your body.
I remember you even saying to me, Future. He raps about this, but apparently he doesn't.
Yeah, he said that himself. He said the stuff I rap about is because it sells. I don't listen to it. For me, I don't fuck with that personally. Because you should be rapping about what you talk like. You're talking. I understand it's a business, and he wants to rap about what he like, what's gonna sell. He wants to get the most popping record. But for me personally, you should be rapping about what you care about, what you think about, talking from your own mouth. You need to be yourself.
I don't train it. In a way, that's not authentic.
Exactly, literally, that's not authenticity because you're rapping about something that's not you.
Yeah.
You're rapping about you're changing your persona to sell records.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's fake, man. You should be talking about what you really get up to. And if you can't do that, it just shows you're not you know what I mean? You're not an artist. You can make good songs, but you can't articulate yourself. You're not a poet.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? Which is different. Different rappers rap different ways. There's certain rappers like Bashi, like I don't know, Rich 32, like Eminem, like Nas, Kendrick, like J. Cole, that can rap about issues. That's the type of rapper they are. There's other rappers that are more for the hype,
pure retardedness.
No, but you can say it's retardedness, but that's not the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is there's rappers that are like their whole thing is to make hits. They're not trying to make conscious rap, which I understand. That's a good that's their style. There's rappers that you only like. Someone like 50 Cent, you're not looking for conscious rap from 50 Cent. You're looking for bangers. So that's the type of rappers they are. It's just the people you're influencing, man. Some people need to think. Stop following. Stop talking about drugs, alcohol, money, bullshit. Talk about what you really want to talk about. If you can't, you're shook. You're shook to talk
Yeah.
about real issues because you're scared about people judging you. Do you know what I mean? Talk about the real issues. It's stupid, man. That's why I rate this Bashi album so
Yeah.
much. Please go and listen to her. That Bashi album is crazy.
Obviously, yeah, it's sad, but at the same time, let's be honest, he did it to himself.
It really is.
Yeah, it is sad. I'm not saying it's not, but
I get what you're trying to say. Like he has to learn from it.
Yeah.
People should learn from this.
yeah,
It's not good. Like rappers need to stop doing this, man. Overdosing and stuff. It's just taking, like, a lot of these rappers just juiced out their mind, taking drugs.
most of it is not even overdosing. Just like the way these rappers die, most of it, majority of the time, is the same causes.
Death,
It's either they've got shot
gang violence,
or
death. You know what I mean? Drugs, some other bullshit. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's always stuff inflicted that you can move away from. You need to get yourself away. But the rap scene is based off that
Yeah.
shit. Do you know what I mean? The reason why you're popping a lot of the time for certain rappers is because you're promoting that shit.
yeah.
So it's a double-edged sword. It is a double-edged sword. But yeah, R.I.P. to my man. Respects anyone.
R.I.P. Yeah.
Okay, the next topic I want to talk about is the football on the weekend. Of course, football hasn't been around for a bit because we've had international breaks. We haven't had the Prem, which is pissed me off because Man City started perfectly with 3 wins on the bounce, and now we've gone back to international. What we had on the weekend, there was a weekend game, Ireland versus England. Ireland versus England. It was in Dublin, yeah. And there was controversy about the 2 Irish players that used to play for Ireland, Rice and Grealish. So of course in the academy they played for Ireland.
Yeah, yeah.
But when they got to that top level and then England saw they were good enough, they just grabbed them and said, "Come here, you're mine now." And now the Irish fans were not having it. They were booing, man. Every time they touched the ball, they were booing, man. They were this, that. And it was just crazy. And after the game, I think Rice put his hands up. He was like, respect him, man. Thank you.
Grealish didn't give a fuck, bruv. He was there
Grealish,
just...
you know how Grealish is. You know how Grealish is.
Bruv, did you see him in it, bruv? It's not even that. Even the way he played, bruv. Man was playing in the number 10. He was cooking.
Yeah, he plays ball on the inside. But you know how the way Grealish moves, like the way he just gassed all the time. He was like, "Fuck you, man. You wanna boo me? I don't give a damn. I'm English." He said after the game, the game after, like the what's it called, the interview after the game, they both said, like, we have nothing against Ireland. We have Irish people in our family. It's just that we are English. We love playing for England.
Are you going to be booing Declan Rice and Jack Grealish tomorrow?
100%.
Why?
100%. Why? Because they're 2 traitors.
Do you get what I mean? Which I understand, but this is the issue. The main issue I wanted to talk about was how, like, this is the problem. It's like, if you're good enough, then you go and play for England. If you're not good enough, then them 2 would still be playing for Ireland.
Yeah.
It's not about them 2. It's just in general. A lot of people, for example, Sterling. He was born in Jamaica, and he moves to England. He grew up in England. Everything he knows is England, which I understand if he plays for England. But let's say he wasn't at that top tier level where he couldn't get in the England team. I don't think he's playing. I think he's playing back for Jamaica because he can't get into the England team.
He's playing with
So
McCarthy.
a lot of these players, it is a bit like you're never gonna, these smaller countries are never gonna get to the level they want to be at because you keep taking away their players. Do you get what I mean? How are they gonna get to that level of getting? Because every time they get a good player, once someone will snatch them off. Same with France.
Yeah.
Same with France. The whole team is African. They're Moroccan. They're Senegalese. Which obviously you had that controversy with Enzo. Which I'm not having a problem with them playing for the country they grew up in.
Yeah.
But my issue is when you're dashing away, you've built up your whole thing in the academy, and then you said, "Fuck that, let me go play for them." It's like you're using the countries. You should be proud of the country you're from. So it's like if you were in the academy the whole way through it for Ireland, and then you switch over to England, it's a bit like, why didn't you just do that in the first place? Do you get what I mean? Why?
In a way, I'll explain it. They look at you as if you're a traitor, innit?
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. I understand it because you've been through the academy the whole time. But the point I'm trying to make is none of these small teams are going to ever become a big team unless these small nations, unless the players stay there. Look at people like Zaha, people like Balassi, people like even some of these Jamaican players now that are all born in England. But that's my whole point. People like Miko Antonio, people like in the Jamaican team now, a lot of them are in the Jamaican team because they can't get in the English team. People like Ethan Pinnock, these are good players. These are really top players, but they can't get in the English team. Ethan Pinnock is not getting in the English team. Casey Palmer is not getting in the English team.
Demarai
Gray, he
he's
was
a
playing
good
for
player
England
as
for a
well,
long.
man.
He tried to get in the England team for a long time. He's not getting into it. People like Wan-Bissaka, I think he picked Congo because he knows he's not getting to it. People like Lamptey, he knows he's not getting in the England team. So a lot of these man, they wait for the call up for England, which it is understandable. You do get a lot more money. You have a better chance of winning a trophy when you're at these big countries. But it's an issue of these smaller nations. If you want to build up your country, that's why I rate what Zaha's done. You want to build up your country. Someone like Koulibaly. I know Koulibaly, he was born in France and he played for Senegal, captained them to the AFCON. People like that. If you know what I mean, if you're there and you're gonna build up your country, you could look at people. Look at the Ivory Coast thing. Look at the Ivory Coast team 10 years ago. See how cold that was because they stayed there. A lot of them are nationals for Ivory Coast. They couldn't even play for France. But do you get what I mean? A lot of that team, they could have switched and they said, nah, let me stick with this. That's what we need more of, I think, because just look how many English players are just sitting around and they can't even get a game. People like Grealish, it wasn't even at the Euros. Grealish, Sterling, who else? Rashford, Sancho, people like those for a long time. Trent wasn't playing for England. There's a lot of players where these are top quality players. For any other nation, they're get in the team.
Yeah.
But because for England, they're not, because there's so much depth. You could be helping the country. So I think it is. I just think there should be more. The players should be spread around the countries more. That's my point. But and in football, the way with the nations, the way how lenient it is, where you can switch from one to another, is I think the rules need to be tightened a bit. Because even someone like Diego Costa, I think
that's a good one. He used to be Brazilian, isn't it? Yeah.
Exactly. He's not used to be. He is Brazilian. That's my point.
Yeah, he is.
But what did he do? I think he lived in Spain for 5 years, and now he's playing for Spain. You're not Spanish. I'll be real. I understand you want to play for Spain, but you're not Spanish, bro. You're not. If I go and move to China now, I might play in China for 5 years. Can I now take Chinese citizenship? No. You can take the citizenship, but you're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're not Chinese.
That's my whole point. Like, why do you think he did that? I think at that time Spain was a better nation, so maybe you get more perks. Maybe you get paid better. So he wanted to take it, but yeah, it's for the individual to pick if you're from the countries. But I do think the rules are very lenient on nations. But
so on Sunday, it's the North London derby, Arsenal versus Tottenham, and I think Tottenham are gonna win.
What?
I'll tell you why. Only.
What the hell?
I know it sounds mad. Only because
Tottenham are not a bad team.
Arsenal, because of their last game against Brighton.
Oh yeah,
they got Rice.
No.
They've got Odegaard missing.
Yeah, got injury.
I heard they had another injury as well. I forgot who.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's
Moreno's
most of the. Yeah, that's it. Apparently, it's most of their spine. I'm hearing. So, obviously Spurs. They've got Maddison out. That's the only
But the way
injuries,
I think there was even look at Spurs results. They haven't been too convincing. I think they drew a game against Leicester. I can't remember the other game.
They lost to Newcastle.
I know they had one half. That first half against Leicester, they were playing proper football. Maddison, the way he was moving the ball, they were dominating. They had their fullbacks pinning the team all the way back against Leicester. But I think the main issue with Spurs is they can't finish. They can't finish, man. Son is on and off. Like Son, when they've bought Solanke this summer and he's playing down the middle, but when Solanke's now injured, I think, so they've had to put Son in the middle. Son plays good there, but he's not a 9. But he's not even that dangerous on the wing. His pace, I don't think he's as fast as he was before. So that Tottenham team's a bit weird. I think if you give Solanke game time, he'll get better and better week in, week out. I think he's a decent striker. He's finally got his opportunity, but I don't think he's playing this game. But I think Spurs, I like the manager. I like Postecoglou as a manager. I think he'd be a good fit for United.
He would. I would take him at Man United. Yeah.
But I do, and I think the football they play is good. I just think defensively they're good. I think the setup is really good. I like that youngster, Archie Gray. He reminds me of a young Rodri. Like, the way he moves the ball dictates. I do like Archie Gray. But I think the main issue for Spurs is, I think the creativity. They have players to finish like Son. It's only Maddison that you're really thinking that's creative. Yeah. Who else is there to create? for that team. I don't see any creativity. So when
I mean, they had
there,
Kulusevski, but I'll be real.
He's not
fallen
crazy.
off a little bit
Yeah.
recently.
yeah, he needs to perform
Yeah.
more. But I think they need more creators in that team. They do.
Still, in my opinion, I think Spurs are winning.
What do you think from the Arsenal side? What do you think about Arsenal this season? I think that Rice thing that happened and that game is a bit unlucky.
Yeah.
But I do think like they would have won that game if Rice was still on the pitch. I do think that the way they play games, even when they go down, they're the same as us. Same as City. When they go down, they find a way to get the win. That's what they did all last season in that run through. They're a proper team. They churn out wins. Do you get what I mean? They are a serious team. But I do think the Odegaard is a big miss. I think it is anyone's game. But I do expect Arsenal. You're saying Tottenham to win. I do expect Arsenal to get over the line. I think they're a good enough team not to just rely on one man. I don't know who's going to play in that Odegaard position though. Who's going to take that role?
Wait, who do they have?
They've got rid of Smith Rowe.
Oh yeah, they have to Fulham, right? And
Yeah.
they got a verse, but they play him up front.
They might do that. They might put Jesus in, play Havertz in the 10. Maybe, but it will be like a 4-3-3 kind of. But they do have options.
And they'll probably play Jorginho and Partey in the middle because Rice is gone.
So yeah, what's your prediction?
No.
What's your prediction for the game, score-wise?
For me, I'm saying 2-1 Tottenham.
2-1 Tottenham.
Because-
Where is it? I don't even know where it is. Let me check.
For me, Rice is a big miss, and Odegaard especially with the way. Obviously, they got Havertz, but he's not like as creative as Odegaard. So I think those two players there, like they need them, especially if they get injured. I don't think they're
Is that Spurs?
the same team.
Yeah, they're not.
Yeah, I think Spurs 2-1. Spurs are nicking it 2-1. Son's getting one of the goals, 100%.
Yeah, I hear it. I think Arsenal. I'm saying Arsenal 2-0 because I don't see goals in Spurs. Especially there's no creativity. Especially the way Arsenal play, they'll pin Spurs back. Spurs don't want to. Postecoglou don't like to sit back like that, so he's gonna play a high line. He doesn't have the creators to play the ball. They can play off the halfway line, off the counter attack with Son and Kulusevski and Werner.
But do they still have Lo Celso?
I don't think so no more.
Oh.
I don't think he could. He's not that good anyway. But yeah, they do. I think they'll play off the counter. But I do think Arsenal they'll press them back. They have other weapons like they have Trossard. They have players like that. They've just got Sterling.
Oh,
Do you get what I mean?
Oh
So,
shit, yeah.
off the bench. So they've got Havertz. They've got Saka. They've got. Do you get what I mean? They've got Martinelli. They've got dangerous options going forward. So other than Odegaard missing, I do think Arsenal will get this over the line. If they want to stay in this title race, they have to because you've already dropped 2 points. If you lose this now and Man City go and beat Brentford on the weekend, that's 4-point gap now. You know what I mean? Already last season they were ahead of us. Man City are supposed to be bad at the start of the season. So if we got that gap already and Rodri hasn't even come back,
And then you know how you lot are when it gets to crunch time. You don't lose a game.
and Rodri's not even here yet. Do you get what I mean? So like it's literally a mess. Like it's a mess for them if you draw this. You have to win. But yeah. That's our prediction for the North London derby on the weekend. Come on, Spurs. Come on, ye Spurs. You get me? So on the 21st of September, Anthony Joshua is fighting Daniel Dubois at Wembley Stadium. So what do you think? What do you think about this fight in general? I know Dubois is a world champion now after he beat Hrgovic. What do you think about this fight in general?
It's obviously a big, this is Dubois' moment to prove himself.
Yeah.
Just imagine if he knocks out AJ, let's say in the fourth round.
That would be crazy.
That would be mental. Obviously, experience is a factor. AJ has been world champion twice,
AJ's 35
and he's 26.
So there's a big age gap there.
Yeah.
The AJ's got the experience on him, but Dubois should have the youth. The thing is, though, even though Dubois is at the peak of his powers, so is AJ. I think AJ's returned back to his peak of powers. I think he's like the old AJ, where he's got back to him. He's got a few wins under his belt. The way, if you look at that Ngannou fight, the way Fury couldn't hack Ngannou, barely won on points, which was debatable. I think he did. I think Fury just about won that fight, in my opinion.
He scraped it, yeah.
He scraped it, but I think on points he barely won it against someone who's not even a boxer. Compared to the way AJ dealt with Ngannou, done him quickly, knockout, get out of the ring. You're not a boxer. That was cold. Do you get what I mean? And I think he's changed his coach recently, and he's done all this techie stuff he tried to do against Usyk.
Just on the knockout thing.
He's gone back to what his body's built for. You know what I mean? He's trying to fight like he's a 6 foot, like he's Mayweather. You're not Mayweather, big man.
Just give man the stiff.
You're a heavyweight. You're a big
stiff jab.
heavyweight. Literally just, just
stiff right hand.
Put man in the corner and knock him out. They're both 6'5". They're big guys.
Yeah.
So I do think, like I did say this to you before, I do think it is a thing of five rounds of Dubois. He just has to swing at, like, literally put all into it and hope he can catch AJ. I think after that, he has to kind of do what Ruiz did.
Yeah.
Where Ruiz literally just went swinging and caught AJ, and as soon as he caught him, AJ wasn't the same and he kept stumbling.
Yeah.
I think that's what the Dubois' game plan has to be. Use his energy, use his youth, and try and get him out early. I think if it gets past that stage, I think AJ will piece him down. He'll piece him down and get him out of there. But yeah, hopefully, because I know Fury's fighting Usyk in a few months. Hopefully, this will be the biggest fight in boxing in the last, probably in the century. If AJ beats Dubois and Fury beats Usyk on the rematch, and all the belts are there, that would be the undisputed fight. And AJ versus Fury. I think AJ would smoke Fury.
Especially right now, currently.
Prime Fury, I think, is better than AJ, but I think Fury's past it.
I think, honestly, the only person right now, currently, that can deal with AJ is Usyk.
Is Usyk, yeah.
Other than that, I think everyone else right now, with the form that he's in.
But do you think Fury's going to beat Usyk? That's a tough one. Because Usyk dealt with him last time.
I think Usyk is IQ, but he's just too smart for him, bro.
You know, yeah.
His movement is
exactly. He's like, he downloads it. He's like Floyd kind of, but he's a cruiserweight champion, heavyweight undisputed champion, all the belts. Man left the belt for Dubois. Do you get what I mean? He is different.
The only thing that Usyk lacks is just a bit of power.
But he don't. Yeah, a bit. Yeah, you could say that, because in the start of that fight, the Usyk Fury last one, Fury controlled the start. He controlled it. But what happens with Usyk is he downloads you, he clocks you, he lets all your energy go, then he grows into fights. He wants you to throw your all at him. After you've thrown that, then he'll just piece you up and use his southpaw. He just uses both sides. He's techie beyond belief, you know what I mean? So Usyk, I think Fury to even get past Usyk at this stage of his career, it's going to be hard. He's even older than AJ.
Yeah, so, yes, it would be a mad thing. I think personally he's washed.
Yeah. But if AJ can go back against Usyk and fight him and win that would be mental. If AJ goes undisputed.
After losing twice to him previously.
I think Usyk has AJ's number, but if AJ doesn't come on a techie thing and uses his power and punch, it will be calm. But on the 21st of September, who do you think is going to win between Dubois and AJ?
I'm saying AJ. Just especially if it goes like past like 6-7 rounds, then I think in the end AJ's got him.
I think so.
I'm not saying Dubois. I think Dubois has a very good chance, especially if he's able to come out pick his shot selection right.
Yeah, look at the thing with Hrgović he had.
Yeah,
that was a slugfest. He can take a punch now.
Yeah.
He's not like the old Dubois where what happened with Joe Joyce and what happened with Usyk, where he did kind of give up. He's got that hunger in him. He's grown. He's matured, and I just think. I think he'll give him a good go. If AJ can knock Dubois out, for me personally, he's the best heavyweight on the planet. Actually, that's hard. Usyk is there. I think AJ would beat Usyk next time. I think AJ, if he knocks out Dubois, not points, knocks him out on the canvas, AJ's the best in the league right now. He's the best in the blood clot league.
I'm still personally saying Usyk, but I think AJ's second.
Yeah. That's why he needs to go back and get his belts. He needs to get back his belts. But yeah, the last thing I want to talk about is Formula 1. On the weekend, it's the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And boy, McLaren need them points. They need them points for real.
Where is this, the Constructors' Championship or just
I think constructors-wise, McLaren basically already won it.
Yeah.
If the car keeps going at this point, they're so far they're still not second. They're still second. They're not past Red Bull, but because Perez is putting up no points, and every weekend, both Piastri and Norris are pushing it to
They're
the
getting
limit.
what? They're getting near podium. Norris is getting podium, yeah.
It's not the constructors I'm worried about. I think McLaren will get that constructors pretty confidently. It's the drivers' championship between Verstappen and Norris. That's the one I'm really looking out for. And again, like last week, Norris let it slip. He got pole position.
Wait, is this the one that just gone this weekend?
Sorry, it wasn't this weekend. The weekend before.
Oh, okay.
The Monza Grand Prix. He started on pole just like before, and he let it slip again. He's done it again. Yeah, Norris, bro. You have to pattern that start. It's probably the anxiety building up in you again and again.
Yeah, that's literally the only thing that's just holding him back at the minute. Just those starts, like he needs to just eventually just push past this, like, because it's really like holding him back as a driver. Because if he patterns this, like, he could potentially, you never know, potentially win his first championship.
Yeah.
And then from there on forth, he got that experience under his belt, and he's able to carry that on through his career.
You know what I think it is? I think it's a thing of the more and more he keeps making the mistakes at the start, the more pressure he's putting on himself. It's building up. He keeps doing it wrong again. He keeps doing it wrong again. He keeps doing it wrong again. For that race, he fucked up the start and he went to third. Do you get what I mean? Again. And that probably cost him the race, maybe, because Leclerc won. So I do think Norris, he needs to put up his boots and get to work. You know what I mean? Get some wins under your belt. You're not winning the championship with 2-3 wins. You have to get some wins under your belt. We're getting to the end of the season now. If you want to catch, you're there. You're in reaching distance of Verstappen. And the way their car is going, the Red Bull right now, you can catch them. You just have to perform. Do you get what I mean? Some weeks you're even getting done out by Piastri, which Piastri's a top driver. He is a really good driver, but you're the lead driver. You're the one going for the championship. I think Norris, he needs to push it now. He needs to. If he doesn't win this weekend, I think, especially if Piastri wins, his chances are very slim. I think his chances aren't slim, but it's just because he is still close to Verstappen. It's just that's not a championship. It's like in football. If you have to get them 1-0 wins, you have to get them. You know what I mean? If you don't win this weekend, you're just not a championship driver, especially in the fastest car.
Even the way Leicester won the league, most of the time they were just getting 1-0 wins.
But it's not about 1-0 wins. I'm saying you have to get them championship wins. Do you get what I mean? On the board.
Yeah.
It's not about 1-0 wins. I'm saying get the championship wins. Get them back-to-back wins. Get them consistent. Get the consistency.
Yeah.
Look at Verstappen. He churns out the wins. Even that Verstappen and Hamilton, when they went against each other, both of them, they had periods where they were just dominating. If the Red Bull was the fastest, Verstappen's winning this weekend. If the Mercedes is the fastest, Hamilton's winning. It's that simple. No Bottas, no Perez.
Yeah.
My man, when the McLaren's the fastest, you're causing, you're not on that level right now. You know what I mean? So hopefully, I like Norris as a driver. Hopefully, I think he's very, very talented. He just needs to push it over the edge.
I think at the moment it's just a lack of experience because he hasn't been in this position, so he's not used to it.
And Verstappen as well. This is the danger as well.
Yeah.
If they fix that Red Bull and Verstappen's driving at his peak,
I can't lie,
his lock off. So McLaren better hope that Red Bull doesn't go back to where it was. Because if it does, he's not giving you no chance.
Yep, and that will be championship number 4 for Max Verstappen.
Lock off, 4 in a row.
Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this week's roundup. Please like and subscribe and comment your thoughts in the comment section down below. And we're out.